In this video, I'm going to walk you through the process of solving equations. What is an equation to begin with? In simple terms, an equation is simply an incomplete mathematical statement. This means that there is something that is needed in order to make the statement complete. Just like in a sentence, where one word or two are missing. That is what an equation simply is. The sign equal to, this sign here, is usually used in association to equations. It's used in relation to equations. And what this sign simply means is that two parts of the two parts of the equal sign, that is the left part and the right part, have the same value. They might look different, yes. They might appear to be different, yes. But you will realize that this sign is saying, even if these two parts look different, they are exactly the same in terms of value. So the process of finding the missing part of the statement or the mathematical statement called equation is what we call solving. So to solve an equation, it involves the process of finding the unknown or the variable or that missing part. So when you work out an equation and you're trying to figure out what is missing that is going to make this statement complete, then you are solving the equation. So in most cases, the questions that you're going to find out there in the exam, you find this question, solve the following equation. That is how we are going to go. The unknown value is very important to make the whole statement true. So the unknown value makes the whole statement true. Once we find the unknown value and we replace it in the original statement, it must give us the correct statement, which is actually true. For example, check out this one here. When you say 3x plus 4 is equal to 10, which one here is our unknown? Well, our unknown is usually represented with the letter. So we have the letter x here, which represents the unknown. So when we say solve this equation, we are saying find the value of unknown such that if you replace it here, when you multiply that number by 3, then add 4, it must make this statement true by giving us something that is equal to what? 10. It must give us a 10 there. So the value that you can find here that will make this part of the equal sign equal to the other part is actually the solution to the equation. So without further explanation and overdue, shall we move to our examples and see how we can put everything here into practice? So, how would you solve this equation? Five x equals to 20. 5x equal to 20. How would you solve this equation? Well, this is a very simple type of an equation, and it's one of the easiest equations you're going to find out there. So what this simply means is that there's a number x such that if you multiply that number by 5, it must give you a 20. So if you just think about it, without even carrying out any calculation, you would be able to identify what that number is. Once you multiply that number by 5, it must give you a 20. But if we are to solve for this equation, what we are going to do is we are just going to divide both sides by 5. We're going to say this side over 5 and this side over 5. So this 5 will divide with that 5. Then I'm going to remain with x is equal to, then I'll say how many times does 5 go into 20? You see that there we get a 4. Therefore, the solution to this simple equation here is that the value of x is 4. And it is true for this statement 5x equals 20 in the sense that if we were to replace here If we were to replace the 4, and multiply it by the 5, if we were to replace here, we say 5 multiplied by 4 is equal to 20. You see that this statement here, this side here, we're going to have a 20 is equal to 20, meaning our statement is what? True. It means that the value of x that we have found is a correct one. So let's go to the next example. The next one involves a single step type of an equation. Plus 3 there is equal to 7. How do you suppose we solve this equation? What do you think we are supposed to do here to solve this equation? The easiest way, or the only way, so to say, of solving this equation is by simply grouping the like terms. You're going to realize that these 3 here and these 7 here are both integers. They are numbers, they are digits, they don't have letters attached to them. So we are going to group the like terms by moving these 3 to the other side of the equal sign using the additive inverse process, or we just move it to the other side and change its sign. So in simpler terms here, we're going to have x is equals to 7. Once we move this positive 3 to the other side of the equal sign, it becomes a negative 3 there. So it is easy there now to solve our equation, because all we have to say is 7 minus 3. What does this give us? It gives us a 4. So even in this case here, you realize that the value of x is simply a 4. You can prove that by replacing or substituting a 4 here. You see that a 4 plus a 3 will definitely give you a 7 for that part, which means that our statement is true. Question 3, example number 3. Example number 3, how would we solve the statement b minus 5 is equal to 8? How would we solve the statement b minus 5 equals to 8? So to solve this one, just like in the previous example, what we are going to do is we are just going to group the like terms. The negative 5 and the positive 8 are like terms. Therefore, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say b is equal to, I move the negative 5 to the other side of the equal sign. It will become a positive 5 there. So it means that the value of b is simply 8 plus 5, which gives us a 13, which gives us a 13. So if we substitute there, we say, what is 13? 13 minus 5, if we replace this b here to see if our statement is true, we'll say, what is 13 minus 5? You see that the answer that we're going to get there is 8, meaning our statement is true. Question number 4, or example number 4, in the process of solving equations. Example number 4, we are solving the question 8 minus 3t is equal to 2. 8 minus 3t equals 2. How do you suppose we solve this equation? Well, first and foremost, I will have to move my positive 8 to the other side of the equal sign so that I can group the like terms. But in this case, I would advise you to, instead of moving the 8 to the other side of the equal sign, it's better here to move the negative 3t, because as you can see, the negative 3t is being a negative statement there. It was going to be easy for us to solve the equation if we take it to the other side, because it will automatically become a positive. So the easiest way we're going to do this is move this 2 to this side of the equal sign, then move this negative 3t to the other side of the equal sign, and let's see what we get there. So we'll have 8. The 2, which is positive, when it comes the other side, it becomes a negative, is equal to the 3t, which is negative, on the other side becomes a positive. So with that, now we are going to just say 8 minus 2. This gives us a 6 is equal to, what is 3t? 8 minus, that is a 3t there. Yes, that is a 3t. Then now we can divide both sides by 3. and here by 3, just like in the first example here where we're dividing both sides, so that we can clear out this 3 and that 3, they will divide, and you're just going to remain with t is equal to, how many times does 3 go into 6? That is a 2. So here again we see that our value of t is simply a 2. We can still replace in our original statement there and see if it is going to give us a 2, if this part here is going to give us a 2. So if we get this 2 and put there, you see we're going to have negative 3 times 2. It gives us a negative 6. So what is 8 minus 6? You get a 2 there. So you see, from that we can tell that our statement is true. The final example in this video is example number 5. Example number 5 in this video. How would you solve 2k plus 6 equals to 16? How would you solve 2k plus 6 equals 16? This is very simple. All you have to do is first group the like terms. So we are going to have 2k here is equal to 16. I move the positive 6 here. The 6, as you can see, is positive. The 6, as you can see, is positive. The 6, as you can see there, it's positive. So if we move it to the other side, it automatically becomes a negative 6 there. So what is 16 minus 6? You see that here we are going to have a 10. So dividing both sides like we did in the first example and the fourth example, we divide both sides by 2. We divide both sides by 2. This 2 and the 2 will cancel out. You remain with a k is equal to, what is 10 divided by 2? That is a positive 5. That is a positive 5. So this is just a basic introduction to the process of solving equations. There are more advanced type of equations out there. And in the next video, I'm going to walk you through another type of equations that are a little bit advanced than the equations that we were solving today. To check if you have understood what we were discussing, try to work out the following questions. Feel free to put your answers in the comment sections below, and I will be able to check them out to see if you have done it correctly. Feel free to work out the following questions. 3 plus 5u equals to 14, and question 3 we have there 11c plus 1, this equals to 23. So feel free to go through these questions and see if you are able to handle them successfully. If you like this video, if you find it helpful, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'll be grateful. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. Shalom.